始めましょう。私からのプレゼントよ。受け取りなさい。
トルメンタル
ディエンテスレ
Bleach
Brave Souls.
Alright, what is going on, you guys? This is your boy the Death Smasher, and welcome back to yet another Bleach Brave Souls video. And today we are back again with yet another Who Is Better video. And today we are going to be comparing the Christmas Ninny that we got not too long ago to 6th anniversary Aizen. Now, why compare these two units? Because for starters, they both have double killers, they both have Soul Reaper killer, they both are a heart unit, and they both happen to have Frenzy +2. I think that's basically more than enough of a reason to compare these two units. Anyways, before I get into the comparison, shoutouts to my boy Scar for allowing me to use his account, because without his help, the video would not have been a thing because I do not have Ninny. So thanks again, my guy. But yeah, we have both of them. Right here, T20, Aizen is 3 out of 5 and Ninny is 2 out of 5, so we'll be able to put out an even comparison between the two. So with that being said and done, let's get started. So let's start off by talking about Aizen, who came before Ninny and came out during 6th anniversary. Now, this character is busted as hell because he has Soul Reaper and Captain Killer. Now, realistically speaking, you're not going to be using Captain Killer anywhere for PvE other than in guild quests, because you're already going to be one-shotting most of the mobs anyways. And yeah, that's all you guys really need to know. Like, the second killer could have been a bit better, but I can understand why they pretty much decided to go for Captain Killer. Matter of fact, this guy is still one of the best Captain Killers that we have in the game for guild quests. Like, pair him up with Daddy Ichigo and you'll be able to do a very good run on guild quests. So yeah, strong attack reaches time of -12% on the actual soul trait. His is T20 with full stamina damage boost and weakened defense, which is already pretty good. And the skills, he basically has weakening and drain on his entire kit, so if we do get per se an IT where it decides to nullify either weakening or drain, guess what? That doesn't mean anything to Aizen because he can still inflict a status ailment. That is the crazy thing that is so good about double status ailments, and he even has the best kit in the game. There are literally no complaints about this character. And the innate skills, he has paralysis immunity and dodge, Soul Reaper damage by 50%. Really good skills. They could have been a bit better, but like, honestly, we take it for what it is. He has a 20% bruiser, devastation at 40%, full stamina damage boost at 20%, combined with the bonus ability, it becomes 45%. Havoc at 20%, frenzy +2, debilitator +5 seconds, and the sprinter +1, as well as sharpshooter and hit hidden enemies. This character is stacked beyond belief, and this guy is literally one of the top 2 best characters that we have in the game, alongside the Spirits Are Forever With You Retsu, which is so damn good. Like, Aizen's literally one of my favorite characters for a very good reason, and I put him at #1 of my top 5 most played characters for a good reason. But yeah, that's Aizen in a nutshell. Now let's get into Ninny. Now Ninny, she's a particular case, but is a very good character nonetheless. But let's get into it. For starters, she has better killers than Aizen for PvE content. She has Soul Reaper and no affiliation killers, which is pretty good because for when it comes to using inheritance trials, you'll have a bit more of an advantage compared to Aizen, because let's say mobs happen to be no affiliation, she'll have the upper hand, whereas Aizen, let's be honest here, captain mobs aren't even a thing. They're mainly boss characters only. So yeah, but that being said, she has a boosted soul trait this time around, so she has strong attack reaches time of -14%, which is good because it just means that she has a bit more cooldowns compared to Aizen, so that's not too bad in and of itself. Now, the only unfortunate thing is that she only has weakening on her entire kit. So let's say if we do get an IT whereby the enemies have weakened resistance, she's gonna be out of luck because she will not be able to inflict a status ailment. Whereas Aizen, if he gets either one of the 2 status ailments completely nullified, he can still proc a status ailment and just be completely safe. Now, taking a look at the innate skills, she has sprinter +2, so she has a bit more mobility, and it's not a bad idea to give her a long stride. Innervator, meaning that you can inflict weakening every 5 seconds, very good, and also has guard break. So yeah, the unfortunate thing about this character is that she doesn't have sharpshooter. But let's take a look at everything else. She has devastation at 60%, and she is also a link slot potion character because she has both the increased super mind link slot potion skill as well as the increased mind link slot potion skills. So unlike Aizen, Ninny is more so meant to be used as an actual farmer despite not having as many skills as Aizen, and despite not having the best kit as Aizen, but we'll get into the kit once we get to the gameplays and the pros and cons. But anyways, moving on, she has Havoc at 20%, Frenzy +2, Debilitator of +5 seconds, increased status ailment chance against Mind Attribute Soul Reapers and no affiliation enemies, and she even has hit underground enemies. Now, Ninny doesn't hit as hard as Aizen, as you guys saw from the skill, and she does lack Sharpshooter, but she does have a couple trump cards up her sleeve, in which we will actually talk about it for when we go more in depth with the character. But yeah, other than that, that's basically the stats and the skills talked about for both of the characters. Anyways, the way of how we're gonna run them is that we're gonna go into Aizen and Ninny will have their respective 50% SP item, but for the most part, it's gonna be the pill and the sad item, as well as the hybrid links being strong attack recharge and strong attack damage. And if we have full stamina damage boost hybrid links in the mix, we'll use them as well. Big example being movie 1 Ichigo. So yeah, with that being said and done, let us go ahead and begin the actual gameplay runs for both of the characters. And those were the gameplays for both of the characters, and the competition was pretty much set in stone for who got the faster clear time, and it was Aizen who cleared in 28 seconds, whereas Ninny finished the run in 33 seconds. Just about 5 seconds behind, but she still proved that she can clear fast despite having a linear kit. Speaking of kits, Aizen has the 3K length beam that has a width of 1020, the 960 AoE into homing vortex, and the SA3 is full screen 1200 radius, weakening and drain on everything. Hands down best kit in the game. Ninny has a 3K length beam, but unfortunately it's only with a width of 870. It's a standard 3K length beam, so yeah, do keep that into mind. While it's still a good strong attack, compared to Aizen, it's very linear. Crawling vortex on the SA2, good for inflicting weakening, bad for overall crowd control and damage as you can sometimes miss with the strong attack. Full screen 1200 radius SA3, weakening on everything. But that being said, let's get into the pros and cons for both of these characters. Starting it off with Aizen, better kit. Very self-explanatory, no explanation needed. Double status ailment. In the event in which IT gives enemies weaken immunity or drain immunity, Aizen will still not have a problem inflicting a status ailment since the mobs are immune to one status ailment and not two, making him a very future-proofed unit for the game mode itself. Speaking of status ailments, we have one particular status ailment that just helps further bring another good pro for Aizen, and that is maintains full stamina damage boost. Man's got drain on everything, so if you get hit by any mob, just use the strong attacks, the SA2 specifically, and you'll get your full stamina damage boost back with ease. And speaking of full stamina damage boost, hits harder than Ninny. Aizen's got 20% FSD alongside Frenzy plus 2. Get him to T15, and Aizen will have an overall 45% FSD, making him an even bigger monster in the game. Sharpshooter. Unlike Ninny, who only has guard break, Aizen has Sharpshooter, which is basically guard break and nullify ranged resistance 100% into one skill, meaning he can ignore guard and not have any damage reduced just to kill mobs that have range guard, plus you can take him anywhere in the game's content. He can be used in both the melee and ranged weeks of Soul Reaper Killer for guild quests, Captain Week, and can be used in extreme co-op and in Transcendence quests. He can completely nullify ranged resistance, just like that. Want to take it up a notch? Sing common quests. If there happens to be a floor in which enemies have ranged resistance, you can still use them, not give a damn about the rules, and still clear the floor just fine, because fuck the rules, we have an Aizen. In the premium pool, the reason why this is so important is because you can pull this character from tickets and will later on in the future, just like 5th Anni Ichigo and 5th Anni Byakuya, become more common and start appearing in random banners a bit more often, and will also make it easier to 5 out of 5 the character because he is not a limited character unlike Ninny, who only returns in Burn the Witch banners. Very strong pros, but there is one con that he has, and I'ma highlight that real quick. No link slot potion skills. While Aizen is one of the best characters in the game, considering we are comparing him to a link slot potion character, that is just the one thing you cannot do with him. You cannot have a guaranteed +5 pot or super pot upon clearing the quest, thus resulting the run giving out less pots, whereas Ninny doesn't have a problem with that. Now, for farming Inheritance Zone and Inheritance Trials, you can still use him just fine. It's just that for it to work, you need to be the host at all times, and you want to carry the Ninnys and any link slot potion character, period. If you try to join any co-op lobby where it says bonus only or Ninny only with 6th anniversary Aizen and decide to completely ignore the room message, the host will just close the room in your face and potentially blacklist you. But that's it, that's the only con I can give to Aizen, but other than that, he's the perfect character for Heart and will stay like that for a very long time unless we start getting even more broken skills in the future. But now, moving on to Ninny, here are her pros. Link slot potion character. She has both the super link slot potion skill and the link slot potion skill, making her a unit that you must have in your account if you ever want to get a chance at being able to farm link slot potions a lot more efficiently. It's the main highlight for this character. Sprinter plus 2. While she may not have an insane kit like Aizen, having more flash steps can actually make her dodge a bit more easily, and on top of that, get her to T15, you can give her long stride, and make Ninny a bit faster as a unit to play as, and can even potentially make her clear just a bit faster than Aizen, only by a slight bit though. Enervator and Disabler. Not exactly a Disabler as it's only against Mind, Soul Reapers, and no affiliation enemies, but we're gonna call it that to make things simple. She just has a higher chance of being able to inflict weakening on all of her attacks, making the Inheritance Trial runs a lot faster for when Ninny has Killer, and even without the Killer, she still has Enervator, which will basically allow her for every 5 seconds a 12% chance for her to inflict weakening for 2 seconds without attacking any mobs whatsoever against any mob, which is very good. Ninny, while she is a weaker character, she does have some damn good trump cards up her sleeves, but this character does have a lot of cons, which I'm going to get into, so here they are. Weaker kit. That too is very self-explanatory, but I will say that if she had anything other than a crawling vortex, like even a standard 960, or even the breath style vortex that the Spirits Are Forever With You Retsu has, then it wouldn't have been as bad as it currently is now. Hits less than Aizen. No Berserker, no full stamina damage boost, and on top of that, if she even gets hit, she doesn't get any health back for the rest of the run unless you get lucked out and get an extra stage in the quest itself. Only weakening. Now, why is this a con, you may ask? Well, in the event where Caleb decides to give enemies weaken immunity in IT, her entire trump card is just basically thrown under the rug, and will just be a character asking to get carried by Aizen despite having Frenzy plus 2. They made her good, but not future-proofed for every Inheritance Trials. Cannot nullify ranged resistance. Now, this may be a hit or a miss con, as they designed her mainly to be a farmer for IC and IT, but seeing as they made her compete with Aizen in terms of stats, skills, and everything else, it really does suck because let's say you don't have Aizen and still get this character. You're good on getting pots, don't get me wrong, but she won't have the same OP broken value that Aizen has, whereas he can solo extreme co-op, be taken into more weeks of guild quests, and can be used for any Transcendence quest in which the mobs have range resistance. For me, personally, it's a hit, and seeing as how even the non-anniversary and non-end-of-year characters get Sharpshooter or Marauder, prime example being Fierce Battle Byakuya, Spirit Society Ichigo, and White Degin, she could have gotten Sharpshooter just fine, if you ask me. She is limited. You want to 5-5 this Ninny? You're gonna have to wait for when the Burn the Witch Christmas banner returns, unfortunately. She is not in the premium pool, nor is she even considered a proper seasonal character, so no 5-star tickets in which seasonal characters are in will allow you to pull the Christmas Ninny or Noel. They're the definition of being called fake seasonal characters. Point is, you're not gonna have an easier time getting this character 5-5, whereas with Aizen, there are way more odds at being able to do so. Now, the conclusion was obvious from the start, and the video as a whole was pointless to make as it was an easy debate, but seeing as you guys, the community, wanted it and actually gave me positive feedback on wanting the video to be a thing, I decided to share my love of making content for you guys and still made this comparison of reality regardless. Aizen is the clear winner for every single content in the game, and Ninny is just that one character you want to have for Inheritance Trials just to have an easier time at getting super pots for your favorite mine characters. I did wish Ninny were built just as strong as Aizen, but I can understand why they decided to tone down her kit and not make her as strong as him, but even then, she is still the second best Heart SP character that we have in the game. So if you're a Ninny fan and you enjoy playing as this character, there is nothing wrong at all with using her outside of IZ and IT, as she is just in general a very good character. At the end of the day, just use who you guys like playing as the most. Aizen fans such as myself can go for Aizen, Ninny Sims can play as Ninny. While the power scale is huge between the two, they're both going to be suited for a lot of hard content, which is still amazing on its own. And that ends the overall video. Now, I am quite late with this, but better late than never, so that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. And most of all, thank you Scar for allowing me to make the comparison possible. Thank you again, my guy. If you guys have actually enjoyed it, do not forget to smash that like button, share this video with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that way you guys are up to date with my most recent videos. There's going to be more videos that I'm going to be uploading on my channel, so do stay tuned for that, lads. This has been your boy the Dash Smasher, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out, lads.